Welcome to Family Gaming. Today we are going to be playing Skyrim and I'm going to be going over a Conjuration melee build. Now you can start off as the Breton. They will give you a higher Conjuration skill to start with. However, we are going to go with the High Elf because he gives you the most Magicka just in general. Here when you get to the stones, if you want to focus on more of your melee build instead of the magic, click the Warrior Stone. I'm going to be clicking the Mage Stone because I like when my magic levels up faster because of the perks that we are going to grab on the way. Here at Fort Amol, I will show you the location. It is going to be east of Whiterun. Go around the hill. For those that like to go to the abandoned prison, it's across from it. You might pass this along the way while you go to High Rothgar in the main quest. But here at Fort Ammo, there's actually a spell that we are going to use if you like to do archery. It is going to be Bound Bow. Now, the mages here can be a bit of a pain in the butt because, you know, mages are a pain in the butt. We do end up getting lucky and finding Bound Sword along with Bound Bow in the same location. So keep that in mind. You could get just as lucky as I did. If not, the other person you want to talk to about Bound Bow will be in Whiterun Farengard, the guy that wants you to get the Dragonstone. He does sell Bound Sword. Now, Bound Sword is going to be the main if you're going to just do melee. If you want to do archery, then you're going to want to use Bound Bow. Bound Bow is going to be stronger up front because bows are ridiculous in this game. And also, if you want to run more of the sneak archery build, then when you go to those stones instead of the warrior or the mage stone, click the thief stone. Thieving does help archery, so you'll level up your archery faster if you click the thief stone, along with your sneak ability. Now this lady here was kind enough to stand still and let me smash her with the axe. And then she's also going to be even more kinder and she's going to give me Bound Sword. Didn't even have to pay for it. Now both of the bound weapons are going to last 120 seconds, so it is 2 minutes long. Should be enough for you to finish any fight. They are both ethereal weapons, and they are bound to you, hence the name, bound whatever weapon you use. So when somebody tries to disarm you, it does not work. That is a big perk that is for both of the weapons. If those big Dragger Scourge or Dragger Warlords use their shout, it actually has no effect on you. Now look at the damage up front. My axe was really weak, but this Bound Sword is whooping them pretty easily. If you're also good at enchanting or you like to enchant for gear or for any other purpose, weapons, whatever, this is also a good spot because they have a bunch of magical stuff in this Fort Amol. But here we are, if you lift that lantern, and right here you'll find Bound Bow. Now Bound Bow does require a lot of magicka, which is why I chose the High Elf. You might need to grab a couple of things to boost your magic as well, but it is an adept spell and it's 177 magicka cost, which is really high to try to be using at the beginning of the game. But again, with a little bit of enchanted gear, you can get it done. And the Bound Bow is going to give you ridiculous damage, especially if you decide to sneak. Just to show you, remind you, I didn't level up yet, so look at the damage. That sounds like something I could work with. Now, what you're going to want to focus on for one-handed builds, your Conjuration skill, you're going to want to get Mystic Binding. as soon as you can, because that boosts the damage of bound weapons. Also, if you like to enchant, if you do Soul Stealer, all of your bound weapons are going to automatically soul trap if you kill them. If you want to run an archery build, you're gonna, all of the beginner perks for archery and one-handed, so armsman for one-handed and for archery, it is overkill, overshot, overdraw, something like that. They do boost your weapon of choice. So all of your perks, depending on the weapon, they will apply to your mystic weapons, which is great. So it's not just Conjuration you want to level up. Also, if you want to do the one-handed and you want to run a shield with the one-handed build, or you want to run destruction with the one-handed build, your offhand is free. I chose to do restoration because to me, living in this game is the most important thing. Unfortunately for your bow, it does require two hands, so if you're going to run a bow build, that's all you can use at the time. You can also pair it with the shout, which is also a pretty good idea. But as you can see here, the bow, you don't exactly need help. Just ask my friend here. Hold on, let me cut him down first. Then we'll ask him how the bow feels. Yeah, that's more like it. Now in this playthrough, I actually did a mix of one-handed and archery. So I didn't specify on one weapon type. So for you, you're going to be doing even more damage than I'm doing now if you decide to just level up one-handed or archery. You're obviously going to put more damage because you're going to have more perk skills to use. I split it between the two for the sake of the video to show that they both are equally as strong, just depends on which playstyle you like. So here at the beginning dragon, you can see I'm only level 12 and we are pumping up a bunch of damage to this dragon, and I did this in my entire playthrough. I shot a couple down with the bow, which I will show the damage of the bow, while I also focused on sneaking with my one-handed, because if you level up your sneak along the one-handed, you do 15 times the damage for backstabs. But I also went to the Dark Brotherhood, which I will show. If you join the Dark Brotherhood, I chose to kill the Dark Brotherhood just to get the stuff, but as you can see, the sneak damage is up there. And if you kill the people in the Dark Brotherhood, Astrid and I believe another fellow has gloves that do double the backstab damage with one-handed weapons. So when you get the perk of your backstabbing from sneak is times 15, you then do times 30 because your gloves give you double the damage. On top of the already ridiculous damage that the sword pumps out without any perk. I was able to one-shot master vampires, giants, mammoths. I mean, it didn't matter what it was. I tried to one-shot a dragon and show you guys, but I could just never sneak on the dragon. One day I'll get it, and one day I will post it. Or I won't. This lost little boy asked us to kill the orphanage teacher in Windhelm, Aventus, strange little kid. But you can just walk up and rift into the orphanage, and you can just conjure up your weapon of choice, and you can just smack her, and you can just leave. It's a great quest. Nobody even cares. But this is how you start the Dark Brotherhood. I did this for the gear, as I said. They have boots that are silent. They have gloves that do double the damage. They have chest pieces. Now, their stuff cannot be broken down, which is unfortunate. So if you do like the enchanting and stuff, it's not going to help you to get this stuff from Black Brotherhood. You're just going to have to get a random armor piece. However, we are rocking light armor, and they all just happen to have light armor. So that helped out our build a bit. This is pretty much what we wore the rest of the game. Helped our sneaking, it helped our resistances to poisons, which don't really have too much of a problem in this game, but for the just in case, it does help. Now Astrid here thinks I'm trapped in here with her, but she doesn't realize that she's trapped in here with me. Now Astrid is pretty tough, but the bound sword was just too much for her. She actually does have a good sword herself. The Blade of Woe is pretty good if you ever wanted to give that a try as well. But here's her gear, and here is the backstab, does double damage, which is just amazing. Why they would allow something like that in the game is beyond me. But of course you take it, and of course you put it on. They also have stuff for the bows, as you saw. The cowl, 20% damage for bows. We end up finding another one that's 25% better sneak. But let's try out these backstab gloves.
This game long enough. Untie me, and we can all go our separate ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Please release me. Cut my bonds.
That's good. Alright, let's get out of this dump. To add insult to injury, we're going to go into the Dark Brotherhood and we're going to kill the rest of Astrid's friends just to see if there's anybody here. This is actually where I found the cowl that gives me 25% better sneak, which is what we wore the rest of the game. But this is obviously optional. You guys do what you want with your gear. However, for sneaking, the Dark Brotherhood is obviously going to have the best gear. But I'm going to expertly take out the assassins because I am a better assassin than they are.
What was that?
Now again, I'm going to show you the way the sneak and the bow works for me. Remember to keep in mind that my perks were split in half between two different weapons of choice, so this is really only half the amount of damage that we could be doing with the bow, which is still pretty significant. But I just wanted to make sure that everybody saw that the bow is just as strong as the bound sword, and the bound sword is just as strong as the bound bow. That was the point of this video. Conjuration never really gets spoke about, and I think that people should use it more because it is super fun. You get high level weapons. They are Daedric weapons that you get when you use bound bow or bound sword. So you are going to be having a more powered up weapon than you are to begin with, because steel is no match for Daedric, especially for the early builds. The damage is great. It's really only about 2 perks that you need, maybe 3 from Conjuration. The rest you can pump into whichever weapon you use. And also other perks like enchanting, again, for gear, or sneaking, or if you want to do destruction with your sword or anything. Conjuration makes for a build that is pretty much unlimited of use. Also, if you want to always have a friend with you, you can reanimate corpses, you can summon the Atronauts. So next time you play Skyrim, give Conjuration a try and play around with it. It is super fun. I don't think you'll be disappointed. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys give Conjuration a try, and thanks for watching. Oh, by the way, I could one-shot a giant.